Here we go again. I've made several videos now about Sony, Naughty Dog and The Last of Us 2, but those videos have all dealt with either the annoyance fans have had over the story or the working conditions for staff at Naughty Dog. What I haven't talked about is the continuing bullying of Sony and Naughty Dog of people who've expressed negative views of the game. This bullying has taken the form of copyright strikes by a company called Muso against channels for apparently using copyright material, despite the fact that in many cases no copyright material was actually used at all. There's been some confusion as to whether Muso was actually acting on behalf of Sony Interactive Entertainment, but it now seems clear that yes, they are in fact representing Sony. So the blame can be laid squarely at the feet of both Sony and Naughty Dog. I wasn't going to talk about this at all as I thought the story was done and dusted, but from what I can tell this is still ongoing, with many channels suffering strikes and claims or a mixture of both. The ins and outs of it get fairly complicated and there are a lot of people talking about the legalities of this and also detailing what has happened to them, and I'll put links into some of those channels in the description so you can follow up if you want to and find out for yourself and, make up your own mind. But the bottom line here is that Sony and Naughty Dog are using the copyright system to suppress negative opinions about The Last of Us 2. And just to be clear, that's not acceptable. Now, I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I didn't like the leaks and that I think Naughty Dog should be able to make whatever game they choose. I've even been pretty clear that I think some of the criticisms of the game following on from the leaks have been, well, over the top. So I would probably find myself at odds with some of the channels that have been hit by this. But whether I agree with those channels or not is frankly irrelevant. The fact is that Sony and Naughty Dog have been trying to silence criticism in the most draconian manner. And they've been abusing the copyright system to do it. And I'll never be okay with that. There are two issues here. Firstly, there's the issue of the leaks themselves and the videos and stills that people have been sharing. And I do feel a little sympathy for Sony on that part. And I understand that they want to stop the leaks. But frankly, it's too late. If you wanted to stop the leaks, Sony, you should have made sure your security was adequate. After all, this isn't the first time that your systems have been compromised, is it? Trying to stop people sharing leaks now is a bit like playing whack-a-mole. Every time you slap one down, another one pops up in its place. They're out there. And while it's understandable to want to limit the dissemination of the leaks, the reality is it simply isn't possible. As far as I can see it, a better approach would have been to just ignore them and go after the initial leakers. If Sony had done that, well, this story wouldn't be still running, would it? Or at least most people would have forgotten about it by now and moved on to the next story. It's the Streisand effect, isn't it? The more they try to suppress the story, the bigger it gets. And that brings me to the second point, the strikes themselves. Many of the strikes issues seem to have been against people who were merely talking about The Last of Us 2 and about the leaks without sharing any copyright material at all. Now, as I said before, that's an abuse of the system. If there's no copyright material in a video, you are not allowed to claim it or strike it. The copyright system is there to stop people stealing copyrighted material, not to stop people from exercising their right to express their opinion, whether you agree with that opinion or not. And as I said before, in some instances, I probably won't agree with these guys' opinions, but they are entitled to have them out there. So was this just a mistake on Sony's part? Did Muso just get overexcited or something? Of course not. From what I've heard from YouTubers and what I've seen from other videos, this has been a systematic attempt to pressure those expressing negative views of the game into silence. In some instances, by threatening the channel's very existence. If ever there was a case of corporate bullying, this is it. And just in time to sour everybody on Sony before the release of the PlayStation 5. Well played, Sony. Well played. Honestly, I hope there's a court case. It's about time this shit was stopped once and for all. And YouTube? Well, you need to sort your shit out too. This kind of thing simply shouldn't happen. And it's about time you started protecting creators and taking some damn responsibility. Because when at the beginning of this video I said, here we go again, I wasn't just talking about me making another video about The Last of Us 2. I was also talking about the fact that this kind of thing keeps happening. And it's just not good enough. It needs to be addressed and it needs to be stopped. YouTubers, some of them, make their livings from this platform. When large companies can threaten their very existence, their very livelihoods for stating an opinion, something's seriously wrong. I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea and I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.